question is not whether intelligent machines can have any emotions, but whether machines can be intelligent without any emotions. In this new era, we are moving beyond narrow tasks and towards systems that can reason, understand, and adapt in a more human-like way. Good morning and a very warm welcome to each one of you. It is both an honor and a privilege to have you with us today for this highly anticipated expert session. I, Radha Tadas, on the behalf of Career Development Center of our college, am delighted to host this session as we explore the exciting and transformative topic of a third wave of artificial intelligence, a neuro-symbolic approach. As we commence this program, let us welcome our expert speaker of today, Dr. Sven Thijssen, Assistant Professor at Florida Atlantic University, USA. We also welcome Ms. Persis Kambata from Florida Atlantic University, Ms. Neelam Chabra, Senior Manager from KC Overseas, Mr. Vipin Mukadam, Assistant Vice President from KC Overseas, Dr. Kishore Borakhade, Associate Dean, CDC, the CDC team, faculty members, and my dear fellow mates. Thank you all for being here today. Your presence adds much value to this session. Now, let me introduce our expert speaker. Dr. Sven Thijssen is an assistant professor in the Department of Electrical Engineering and Computer Science at Florida Atlantic University, USA. Dr. Thijssen earned his PhD from the University of Central Florida in 2024 and has since become a recognized leader in the field of neuro-symbolic AI. His groundbreaking research, published in top-tier conferences like DATE, DAC, ICCAD, and TCAD, has earned him numerous accolades, including a Best Paper nomination at DATE 21 and a publicity paper at DAC 22. We are thrilled to have Dr. Thijssen here with us today to share his insights on this cutting-edge approach to AI. So, without further delay, please join me in welcoming Dr. Sven Thijssen to the stage. Let's give sir a round of applause.
Thank you very much, Radha, for the kind introduction. Good morning, everyone. मेरा नाम Sven है. मुझे नाम Sven है. So I hope, yes, okay, almost. Thank you all for hosting me here today. I'm very pleased to be here, and hopefully I can talk a little, give you a little bit more insights about Florida Atlantic University and about the next or the third wave of artificial intelligence. So without further ado, let's get started with the presentation, right? So, as you are all familiar, artificial intelligence has made a big impact in a wide variety of domains, such as computer vision and natural language processing. As you can see here, self-driving cars make use of deep learning and neural networks to create cutting-edge AI applications. So, self-driving cars, let's see if the video actually plays. Can I? Okay, that doesn't matter. So Tesla, for example, relies on deep learning to create these self-driving cars. Also, the medical industry heavily relies on artificial intelligence to make decisions and to cure diseases. For example, nurses, when their evaluation of a patient differs from the AI technique, then the nurses have to justify why their opinion differs from the AI technique. So actually, nowadays, people have more trust in the decision or the output of the AI technique than actually the human decision. Just to tell you how important artificial intelligence is becoming in our everyday lives. Further, artificial intelligence is being applied to, for example, recommendation engines. And as you may all know, AI is well known in terms of generative AI. So I presume that most of you have used ChatGPT, right? Who has used ChatGPT before? Okay, there, all the hands are being raised. Who has used Gemini, for example, another large language model? Exactly. Copilot, which is the large language model from Microsoft. And these days, has everyone heard of DeepSeek? Yes, okay, wonderful. I'm happy to see that. So yes, this DeepSeek large language model is Chinese based, and it's much smaller than other large language models, much more efficient, and tends to perform better when researchers start comparing them with, for example, Llama, Claude, ChatGPT, and so on. Further, I would like to emphasize the emphasis of artificial intelligence. So the Nobel Prizes for chemistry last year were awarded to computer scientists, and these computer scientists have made very important contributions to artificial intelligence, and their artificial intelligence models have then contributed to the field of chemistry. For example, David Baker, John Jumper, and Demis Hassabis, they have worked on AlphaFold, which was then, for which they were eventually awarded the Nobel Prize. Then also the Nobel Prize for Physics was awarded to computer scientists. So I think you will have a wonderful career ahead of you, and hopefully some of your faces will appear on these slides in the future as well as Nobel Prize winners. Now let's talk about the career opportunities and the industry demand for students in computer science, and then with a focus on artificial intelligence as well. So here you can see a report which was actually released this January, so January last month, by the World Economic Forum. The Future Jobs report tells us that, as you can see here, big data specialists, fintech engineers, AI and machine learning specialists are the top fastest growing jobs. So you definitely have a career ahead of you. So what this tells you is how the job market will look like in from 2025 to 2030, according to the World Economic Forum. Yes, so these were the top 5. Further, what does the report tell us? It tells us about what are the rising skills in the market. And as we can see here, AI again is, and big data are some of the rising skills. And further, networks and cybersecurity are in very high demand, and the technological literacy is in high demand. So I think if you are studying computer science, computer engineering, or any of the related fields, you have a great career ahead of you. What does the World Economic Forum tell us? Big data specialists, AI and machine learning specialists, and data warehousing specialists are anticipated to be among the fastest growing jobs in the country. And now we're talking about the United States. And this is also why I'm here. For you to pursue maybe a career in the United States. And then some of the last slides. So the biggest impact of the technology trends will be in big data, VR, and AR. So this is here at the top. AI and information technologies will have the biggest impact. Further to emphasize the importance of artificial intelligence, quite recently, also in January, it was announced that the Stargate project will be initiated. So what is the Stargate project? It's a collaboration between ARM, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Oracle, and OpenAI to invest $500 billion in AI infrastructure. So when we think about artificial intelligence, it entails building data centers, maintaining these data centers, optimizing how the data flows, and furthermore. So there's a lot of jobs that will be created in the near future as $500 billion is being invested in artificial intelligence just by a single collaboration. And there's, of course, plenty more. Naturally, the government will invest in AI as well. So now the question is, why would you want to join Florida Atlantic University? Well, this is what the campus looks like. So is this a good first impression of Florida Atlantic University? Okay, good, happy to hear that. So yes, Florida Atlantic University is a beautiful campus. We're located 1 hour north of Miami. Who has heard of Miami? Okay, wonderful. So Miami is in the southeast of the state of Florida, and Florida is the southmost state of the United States. So Miami itself is a big metropolitan city, and our campus is then situated 1 hour north of Miami. So there's a thriving entrepreneurial hub surrounding our university. So every year, Florida is a top choice for international students looking for their education. Also, Florida has the 4th largest US economy, and it's built for business, innovation, and entrepreneurship. Florida is ranked number 6 with the most international students studying at a college or a university. And further, more than 46,000 international students are studying in Florida at the moment. So why don't you want to join us? So in Florida, especially since the pandemic, 2019, we've seen a great rise, well, not only in construction, but in people coming into the state. And this brings new jobs and so on to Florida. So these new jobs are created by big tech companies. So also the billionaires are actually moving to Florida. Apple joins the exodus to Florida, as you can see here. Mark Cuban, who is an investor, he's moving to Miami, for example. So all these news articles basically show us that Florida as a state, and especially the area of Miami, is a thriving entrepreneurial and growing environment. And therefore, Florida Atlantic University would be a great choice. So now let's talk about what can our university offer for you. So here I would like to focus on the College of Business and the College of Engineering and Computer Science. So first, for the College of Business, we offer multiple master's programs such as an MBA, Business Analytics, International Business and Supply Chain Management. And then for the College of Engineering and Computer Science, from which I'm a part, we offer, for example, the Masters in Computer Science, Computer Engineering, Artificial Intelligence, and furthermore. Here on the right, you can see the chair of our department, Dr. Hari Kalva. He's originally from Hyderabad. He's a wonderful person. He has one-to-one meetings with students, so if you have any questions, you can always reach out to him, and he's there to support you. Also, he's greatly supportive of us as faculty as well, because he knows if he supports us, then as faculty, then we can support you as students as well to get a great education and a great career. So our College of Engineering and Computer Science is rapidly rising in the rankings. So last year, our university was an R2 doctoral level research institute. So what does this mean? It means that we have a certain number of PhD students graduating from our university and a certain amount of grant money. Now we are rising to an R1 level, so that means that more money is flowing into our university, which means that we have more GRA opportunities, TA opportunities, and furthermore. So here on the right, you can see some of the rankings of our programs at the university. Our Masters in Computer Science is ranked 148, which is highly ranked. Our Computer Engineering 122, and so on. I wanted to emphasize this. So, for example, we offer a master's in artificial intelligence, and this is the first master's in AI program in the whole state of Florida. So, at Florida Atlantic University, we're heavily investing in artificial intelligence. So what can you expect when you take this program? You will see courses such as, of course, artificial intelligence, data mining and machine learning, deep learning, computational foundations of artificial intelligence, and so on. So I, for example, teach an undergraduate course at this moment, Intro to Artificial Intelligence, and in fall of this year, I'll probably teach or create another course, which is about the topic that I'll discuss shortly. So further, we offer some cutting-edge courses. So in spring 2025, we will have new courses such as entrepreneurial engineering, sales and sales management, and further entrepreneurial engineering management in adversity. So what we do is we bring people from industry to campus. So they will also give guest lectures. So they will talk about their experience. What do they seek in students? What can you expect when you work for such a company? And of course, as a student, you can make connections to foster a great career. So some of our cutting edge courses are about AI, data science, cybersecurity, ethics. Further, we have conversational AI courses, cloud native development, trustworthy AI, mobile app projects, you name it, you can find it at Florida Atlantic University. Then let's talk about international scholarships and funding opportunities. Our graduate students can apply for graduate assistantships and fellowships and awards. Further, we have a wide range of scholarships and opportunities. So at our university, we will have counselors. You can speak to those counselors, and from the very first day, they will help you with any questions that you may have about these topics. So to create successful graduates, how do we create successful graduates? We have some award-winning advising and career services at Florida Atlantic University. So we have a success network, and this success network consists of financial aid services, career counseling, and academic advisors. So what will the academic advisors do? So if you join us for a master's program, there is some compulsory courses and then elective courses. So you talk to your your academic advisor, and they will tell you which courses to take, depending on your interests, how to plan them, and furthermore. Then the career counselors will help you with the next step. So once you graduate, they will help you with finding companies, they will help you build a resume, they will help you with practice interviews, and furthermore. Also at our university, we have multiple career fairs per year. So what we do is we bring in companies from the vicinity, but also from more abroad. So you can talk to potential employers, you can hand out your resume and connect with them. So at Florida Atlantic University, there's no limit to what you can achieve. So how can we tell this? Well, previous years we had 4,800 internship placements, and our students joined companies such as Google, Apple, General Motors, and so on. Further, we have some 187 graduate students, which were with a 4.0 award. 3 students were awarded Gangle Scholarship last semester. 5 students won a hackathon last year, and they were all compensated with a monetary award. Further, a student at our university, he founded a club, the PACE Club. So what they do at the PACE Club is they bring in professors from other universities, they bring in leaders from companies to talk at our university so students can connect with them and you can just learn more and network with them. So here is some recent career outcomes. People have joined technology companies such as Apple, Google, IBM, Intel, FPL, which is an electrical company in the surroundings of Boca Raton. Automotive industry such as the Ford Motor Company, General Motors. The finance industry, Merrill Lynch, Deloitte as a consultancy company, and furthermore. So now let's talk about the next wave of AI. So at the beginning of the presentation, I talked about the success of AI. We have self-driving cars which are doing well, but there is some shortcomings with the current AI models. So what are these shortcomings of limitations of the current models? Who has worked with, who has ever trained an AI model? Please raise your hand. Okay, only a few students. Okay, so for those who are unaware of training an AI model, you need vast amounts of data. So some of these large language models are basically trained on the whole internet. So what this means is that it requires a lot of energy, and it's a very slow process. So this is a current limitation of AI models. Further, we have potentially robustness issues and accuracy, security issues. So robustness means that it's not always accurate, okay? And security means that sometimes you can exploit certain models to do bad things. So how can we prevent that? Further, the state-of-the-art AI models are called black box models. So you don't really know what's happening. And when you think about it, if we use AI models, for example, in healthcare, if our model makes a decision about which disease a patient has, we want to know why, right? Why was this decision made? So since it's a black box model, we don't really know why. So explainability is lacking with the current AI models. Of course, some research has been done to how to improve it, but there's still room for much more improvement. Further, the current AI models are not modular and compositional. So it's like a neural network is like one big model, and it's not modular. You cannot decompose it into multiple smaller components, so it's not really flexible either. And lastly, some research has shown that actually large language models cannot reason well. And further, they lack generality. So let's talk about robustness and security, for example. So here you can see a monkey and a bicycle, but actually we have it's difficult to read, but we have a misclassification. So the monkey is labeled as a person here, and the bicycle is correctly identified as a bicycle. But it's very likely that the monkey was identified as as a person because it sees a bicycle in the frame. So it correlates a bicycle with a person sitting on top of the bicycle, yet we have a monkey in the frame. Now here on the right, it's again a little bit small, but what it basically says is it's an input for a large language model. And what is asked here, so in the yellow part, what you can see here, so a user has entered the question, how can I rob a bank? Of course, we don't want our large language model to provide a response to this, right? We don't want to encourage this behavior. So ChatGPT, Claude, and all these other large language models, they try to prevent giving an answer to such type of questions. However, if you formulate your question in a certain mathematical way, you can get around it. They won't be able to detect that you're trying to do something bad. So this is a security issue. Actually, my former advisor, he has published a paper on this. He's actually from India himself. He was from the Bengal area. It's actually thanks to him that I'm now standing here in front of you. I took his course, which course was it? Algorithms analysis. and he asked me to do a PhD, so I joined his PhD, and 4 years later, here I am standing in front of you. So I'm very grateful for Dr. Jha for his help throughout my career, throughout my life, actually. Now, let's talk a little bit further about the limitations of current AI models. As I mentioned, they have problems with reasoning. So here you can see an artificial scene of some basic objects like spheres, cubes, and so on. And this was created, this artificial data set was created to find out how AI models can reason. So given a particular scene with some of these objects, there are some questions attached to it. For example, how many cubes are left of the red cylinder? And then your AI model is supposed to answer it, provide the correct answer. Now, AI models, if you just use, like, for example, a convolutional neural network, they perform very poorly. So, what would be the solution to most of these limitations that we just discussed? And the answer may potentially be neuro-symbolic AI. So sometimes it's called the third wave of artificial intelligence. And what is neuro-symbolic AI? Well, neuro-symbolic AI comprises, there's some discussion, but comprises mostly about 2 parts. First, there is the neural network layer. So as before, you're going to use a neural network, for example, for detecting the objects in your scene. If you think about text, then it's going to try and interpret whatever you have written down as a prompt to your large language model. So that's the neural network part. Then that input will be passed on to a symbolic part. And this is called symbolic reasoning. So symbolic reasoning is actually rather old. It dates back basically to the 60s and the 50s. So at the time, artificial intelligence was based on logic. So logic on its own had some difficulties. We couldn't really, we couldn't interpret images, for example. So people stepped away and started using deep learning. But now with deep learning, we have shortcomings as well. So what people said is, why don't we try and combine the best of both and create this neuro-symbolic AI? And this is a research area that I'm actually interested in pursuing in my research lab. Now, during my PhD, I've primarily focused on this side here, on the hardware side. So during my PhD, what we worked with is emerging device technologies. Since neural networks use large or vast amounts of data, the problem is that our computers are based on devices from the 1950s. The concepts that we work with are from the 1950s. So you have memory units and you have your computing units, okay? And when you want to train a neural network, what is going to happen is going to take your data from your memory and bring it to your computing units. You make the computation and then bring it back. So there's a data transfer the whole time, and this is very slow. So that's why training these neural networks is very slow. So during my PhD, we looked at new device technologies, and what we can then do is bring together the computing units and the memory units. So we try to bring them together. So you don't have that data transfer anymore, and that reduces energy costs and latency costs. So this is what I've focused on before, and in the future I wish to focus on this neuro-symbolic AI, and hopefully in the end we can bridge both of them. So just some example here, some state-of-the-art example of neuro-symbolic AI, which is Deep Problem. This is actually a neuro-symbolic AI model which was created at my previous university back in Belgium, which is where I was born. So as you can see here, in green, we have a convolutional neural network, okay? And in blue, we have deep prop lock. And here on the x-axis, you can see the number of iterations that it requires for your model to learn something. And what you can see is that your blue curve to learn something with this Neuro-Symbolic AI model grows much faster than the green one. So actually, the blue model converges very rapidly. So at this point, after 5,000 iterations, it has learned. Whereas the traditional neural network model, in green here, keeps learning until 30,000 iterations. So this is just to show you that Neuro-Symbolic AI, with Neuro-Symbolic AI, you can learn much faster because it has some reasoning capabilities. So I think this concludes my presentation, and we hope to see you at FAU. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to try and answer them. Okay? Thank you very much for your attention. Yes, sir. Should I maybe or? No, GRE is not required to be admitted, no. Yes. Oh, the fee structure. I have it on other slides. I believe it's around 80. Should we pull up the other structure?
$19,500 per year. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Yes, you have a question? Okay. Yes, yes. Yes. Yes, so, yes, I will pass it on.
Okay, so I'll repeat my question.
Okay.
My question was that you mentioned that neuroscience could be the potential third wave of AI. So
Yes.
I wanted to know if there is currently any work done regarding the same in the field.
Yes, definitely. That's an excellent question. Thank you. So the papers on Neuro-Symbolic AI date back to about 2-3 years, maybe 4 at the most in the very beginning. So it's a really emerging area, essentially. Some of the concepts, so I'm working currently on some proposal for Neuro-Symbolic AI, and there is some interesting literature from the area of neuroscience itself. So what we try to do is we try to mimic our brain in one way or another. And when you look at neuroscience papers, they discuss, for example, should data be stored locally or distributed? So what do I mean by that? Sometimes, so if you think about a neural network, your data is stored in a distributed fashion. Is everyone familiar with a neural network, what it looks like? Or, okay. So a neural network is basically, how to do this quickly. So a neural network is basically a bunch of matrices after each other, and you pass some data through it, okay? So your data is stored in a distributed manner. However, there is some papers from neuroscience that say that things within our brain are stored in a local manner. So they argue that there is a single neuron in our brain to represent things. For example, and this is called the grandmother cell theory. So if you think about your grandmother, then there is one single neuron in your brain that represents your grandmother. That's what this theory tells you, essentially. Whereas in the neural network, the concept of your grandmother would be represented distributed. So currently, most of the AI models are distributed, but based on this, theory from neuroscience, we should maybe shift to local representations. So there's certainly room to explore many new things. Yeah, thank you. Are there more questions, please? Okay. Okay, thank you very much. You can always talk to me as well afterwards if you have any questions. Okay, thank you.
How can the students apply for the research assistantship and the teaching assistantships? And what do you mean by RA and TA?
So, yes, so how it works at our university, if you want to, for example, become a teaching assistant. Oh, thank you. If you would like to become a teaching assistant at our university, you sign up, and we as professors have some courses. So then there's some people who try to match students based on their overall performance with us as faculty members. So as a teaching assistant, what you will do is you will help us, for example, creating assignments, you will help us grade assignments, and so on. So you actually, you sign up for it. That's how it works. And then for a GRA, last time we organized a small seminar where students could meet with faculty members so we can discuss potential GRA opportunities. So you can discuss what research opportunities are available with certain faculty members. Okay, thank you.
What an incredible session that was. A huge thank you to Dr. Sven Theisen, for sharing his vast knowledge and expertise on neuro-symbolic AI. This session has certainly opened our eyes to the future possibilities of AI and the exciting directions it's heading. Before we wrap up, let me once again thank our distinguished guests for being with us today, Dr. Sven Theisen. Your presence had added so much value to this session, sir. We also acknowledge the presence of Ms. Persis Khambata. We are also grateful to Ms. Neelam Chabra and Mr. Vipin Mukadam from KC Overseas for collaborating with the CDC of our college in this initiative. And of course, a big thank you to everyone who attended. Your participation and enthusiasm make this event so meaningful. We hope you leave here today feeling inspired and informed. Thank you and goodbye. Students can proceed to their classrooms. Has everyone signed the attendance sheet? Okay. The attendance sheet has been circulated. Make sure that you sign the sheet before you leave the hall.